What is up, YouTube? It is your boy ChasmRift here, and today we are back with episode 2 of whatever the series we're calling it. Pokemon Champions Road to Ranked, Pokemon Champions Climbing the Ladder, whatever. It's episode 2, and today we are back with the Mega Scrafty Hybrid Trick Room team. The last episode we did pretty well, I would say. We were 3-1. Our only loss came from a battle that we did not anticipate. Quick guard on the Sneasler. Granted, there's some outs I could have tried that could have played into my favor, but it was not the greatest of battles. Anyways, we are back here going for another ranked session. And for today's question, I have for today is what is the playstyle or team archetype that you like to play, or for those who don't play, who just like to watch these content, what are the archetypes you like to watch? So, for example, we got archetypes like Trick Room, Tailwind, playing with Weather, a balanced team, teams that are, like a hybrid of sorts. Myself, I tend to like to play with teams that have speed control, so I do lean towards Tailwind. However, I do like when my teams have an alternative, like pseudo trick room mode of sorts. For those who don't know, I am a big fan of Pokemon that aren't the fastest, like the Archaludons of the worlds back in Gen 8, Indeedee, of course Scrafty, Pokemon that aren't the fastest, and they can definitely benefit from Trick Room if we're facing a team that is just super hyper offensive. So I kind of like teams that have both the Tailwind mode and they have an option to go into Trick Room, or if they don't have an option to go into Trick Room, they have an option to stall out various speed control. So we're up against Raichu, Charizard, Whimsicott, Sylveon, Basculegion, and Sinistra. This is a classic example of what I was talking about. Okay. I think we go this mode. I want Torkoal in the back, and we're gonna bring Venusaur. We didn't get to bring Venusaur at all in the previous episode. I think having Venusaur in the back for a late game sweep is gonna be pretty dang good. Especially since Venusaur actually has a good matchup into the Basculegion, has a good matchup into the Sylveon. It'll keep the Raichu honest. Same for the Whimsicott. Yeah, about 5 out of the 6 Pokemon, I'll say Venusaur has a positive matchup in regards to either just hard countering them or hard walling them. So we'll take full advantage of this. Opponents at the 1800 rating. If we're doing it this style of battle, and I don't play any matches off screen, it's gonna be a while before we actually hit the 2000 rating. I think that's exactly where I want to aim for. Okay, so at the Intimidate. I think what I want to do is I want to fake out the Sylveon. Okay. Yeah, I'll fake out Sylveon and I'm going to set up the room. So I'm Mega Evolving now just to get extra damage out of this fake out. And to also keep the Basculegion honest, since it looks like they're staying in. They're probably going to protect the Basque if I had to take a guess. Oh, they didn't. Okay, are they going to go for like a flip turn? Yep. They bring in Charizard. Alright, and I get my room up. So I'm gonna try to pivot out into. I don't want to actually raw tag into Torkoal. Yeah, I don't want to raw tag Torkoal in. So I'll do this. we'll protect Farigiraf. So they are Charizard Y. Essentially, I'm about to give us Scrafty for free, which I'm not a fan of. This is already, like, if I win this battle, regardless if I win or not, I think the highest grade I can give myself would be like a B. It's like, off rip, if you're wasting your Mega, wasting one of your most vital resources, and you're getting next to nothing for it, you lose a letter grade if this is like in school. I mean, shout out to Scrafty. It got us into I would say favorable position. All right. Now we bring in Torkoal. And this is where I will Eruption. And I'm going to Psychic the Charizard. I mean, not Psychic, T-Bolt the Charizard. I'm so used to Farigiraf's not having Thunderbolt. We protect the Sylveon. Perfect. So now we should essentially get rid of the Charizard this turn. %. Okay, I think that's range for this Farigiraf. I don't know my EVs on the Farig, but that should be range. Commentator curse. Commentator's curse. And they crit my Torkoal. Okay, not ideal, not ideal. Let me Eruption. Let me see how many turns we're on. We got left 2 more turns. Okay, let me Eruption. And let me... We're not going to get much out of Eruption, but we need to get chip damage into... Yeah, let me Eruption and let me Psychic. So I could have just Weather Balled if I... Not a lot. 34%. Okay. Hyper Voice. Somebody gotta take it. 7%. I mean 7 HP on Torkoal. Alright. Let's see. Can Venusaur realistically bring this back? We do have Energy Ball for Basque. We do have Energy Ball for Basque Legion. So they're most likely going to protect the Sylveon. Even in the situation where they don't protect Sylveon, yeah, I'm gonna double the Charizard slot. Cause they might quick attack. Yep, there it is. 2%. Good thing I went for Sludge Bomb. I'm like, okay, in the event that this doesn't go off, we'll still get our attack to redirect. In the event that we somehow took the hit or they didn't go for quick attack, our Sludge Bomb still go into the Sylveon slot. So that was perfectly timed because Trick Room's about to end. And now we got Chlorophyll kicking in. Bars. But the problem is they set up the Sun a turn earlier than I would have liked because they had Charizard Y Mega Evolve in turn 2. Okay. Basculegion and Whimsicott. Okay, let's see here. One more turn. I'm gonna assume this is Scarf Basculegion. I mean, I lose if it is Scarf Basculegion because Last Respect should take us out, right? Okay, maybe they're not Scarf. Or they're really trying to take advantage. Oh yeah, that's game. Can't do anything about that. What could I have said about that battle? I think the double up into Charizard with the Eruption and the Thunderbolt, if that got the KO, I think we would have been in a better position because Heat Wave wouldn't have critted my Torkoal. That was the big thing right there, was Torkoal taking so much damage. I think for Farigiraf not taking that hit also would have been pretty good, but just Torkoal taking that big hit really messed me up. But overall, like, we were on the back foot by just playing poorly with the Mega Scrafty. We should not have Mega Evolved it. Granted, it was our only Mega we brought to the battle, but we should have done better. Alright, we're up against a standard team. So this is a interesting situation. We're up against Tailwind. Pretty much everything on our team would like to get Tailwind going. If I can't bring Scrafty on lead per se because we're not going to get much value out of Scrafty leading, and if they did bring King Gambit on lead, we're going to get blown up. I think this is a situation where we may have to. I mean, Pyroar, I'm trying to think. Pyroar is okay in this battle. I mean, like, nothing really, like, seriously threatens Pyroar, I would say. I could have brought Venusaur. I just don't like the fact that. So Venusaur would have been okay until like 3 out of the 4 Pokemon. There were 3 to 4 Pokemon on this team. I'm not a fan of Venusaur going up against both Garchomp and Charizard. So just being mindful of that. So they did Basculegion and Garchomp. Dang it, I could have brought Scrafty. But you know what? This is actually fine. Their team is decently fast. I'm just gonna go for I'm a Trick Room. We got priority with the Mamoswine. If we can knock out Garchomp this turn, I don't think they'll allow me to just get a free KO into Garchomp. Like, this is Master Ball tier. I know, like, some people could easily sneak in the Master Ball tier by just playing enough. There we go. There goes the Protect. I just wanted to cover my bases. We should be able to take a Wave Crash. Oh, they flip turn. Okay, that's back-to-back Basculegions we faced that flip turn. I'm not saying that's an uncommon move, but like... Okay. Charizard. And we get the room up. Okay, so... we're gonna have to play this out as if we know they're going to try and swap around on us. I don't want them to stay in and then my T-Bolt did nothing, so I'm just gonna play it safe and I'm gonna Psychic the Garchomp. I know it's Basculegion most likely coming in. Yep, I was gonna go for the T-Bolt, but I didn't want to risk it. Like, I like to play it safe at the first couple turns because you don't really know how to get a feel for the opponent until, like, you know, you get into the battle. If turn 1 Protect is just the obvious, alright, go for a Protect. Turn 2, you may say, okay, my opponent got a little bit of foresight, and they understand that, hey, if I bring in Basculegion, this could get ugly. Wow. Mamoswine avoid. So my Mamoswine is faster than their Zard Y. And for Farigiraf, 6 HP. Nice. So that's some sweet karma from the previous battle. Okay. So I'm going to high horsepower. And I'm going to T-Bolt the Zard. They protect Zard, that's fine. We're faster than their Basket Legion, and we missed, of course. Okay, so there's Scarf Basket Legion. Because we're faster than their Charizard, but we were slower than their Basket Legion. I know it's weird how I'm talking about it, but essentially that's exactly what happened. I'm just gonna Ice Shard, and let's see. 2 turns of room. I'm gonna Ice Shard, and I'm going to Psychic the Whim. I'm calling a Garchomp swap into the Charizard slot. Yep, we're actually getting a good read into the opponent, but it's like, I could just capitalize on it, or I could prevent them from getting speed control next turn. I mean, not next turn, getting up speed control in the subsequent turns of the battle. So, because I just did that, they're probably going to bring in Basket Legion. No, wait, they're going to bring in Zard, and they're going to protect. This is my final turn of room, right? Yep. So they're going to protect Zard, and they're going to protect Garchomp. So, on my end, I'm going to protect my Mamoswine. Yeah, I'm going to protect Mamoswine, and I'm going to swap in Pyroar. So they can't use any Yachi Berry or whatever berry a Garchomp may want to hold against the Ice Shard. Okay, so we got the order. So their Charizard is the slowest thing on the field. Alright, let's review. 145 speed, 168. So my Pyroar is faster than Charizard. I mean, my Pyroar is faster than my Mamoswine, which that should be pretty useful information. Yeah, I'm just gonna Heat Wave. Actually, no. No, I'm not gonna do that. They're probably gonna swap the Zard out. Nope, they stayed in. So I'm calling that they're gonna protect this turn on Garchomp, because the protect failed previous turn because everyone that turn protected that could protect. Oh, they took the Ice Shard. And they took it surprisingly well. Maybe I should have Heat Waved. You know, it'd be crazy. What if there was a Pokemon that had the ability where it's like, if the weather ends, you can reset it up. Reset it back up the next turn. The sunlight faded. Alright, Basket Legion. I forget. I could do this, and I could do this. This will stop them from going for potential Aqua Jet. I was thinking to myself, I was playing as if Farigiraf was knocked out, but I'm like, wait, we saved Farigiraf because it was going to be important for the end game. They protected. Let's see, did they go for an Aqua Jet? Nope. They last respected me. Dang. Wait, they're locked into last respect now. Yeah, they gotta be locked into last respect. So let me overheat, and let me. I mean, I kind of lose if I can't get this off. Let me overheat and let me Trick Room. Yep, choice locked. and that's game. That's taking advantage of the opponent's, like I said, like I said in the first episode. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. Pokemon is a game of knowledge checks. Trying to get information on the opponent, trying to pick up on their mannerisms, and just understanding the situation that you're in. This right here is a classic example. We found out that they're Scarf Basket Legion, ironically due to Trick Room. Trick Room helped us figure that out, and because of that, we are 1-1 for today. Okay, that was a decently long battle. Let's get to a third one. And because we were able to identify that they were choice scarfed, the move they went for, which was the Last Respects, it taught me, hey, I got a normal type in the field, I got a normal type in the back. Let's swap it in, and Basket Legion can no longer do anything. And we're up against an all shiny team. Nice, very nice. I wish I could have done the same, but I didn't feel like hunting for Torkoal. And I didn't want to involve my Swinub by having Legends VA. Scarlet and Violet. So Greninja, King Gambit, Garchomp, Whimsicott, Sylveon, and Ditto. Okay. So let's see. I don't know exactly what they want to do. Usually people will bring Ditto, want to just copy the opponent's strong Pokemon and utilize it to their own advantage. That being said, I don't know per se what they want to do on their end. I'm very inclined to want to bring Mamoswine on the lead, because Mamoswine has a pretty good matchup into most things they have. I might do this. Just go right into getting the sun up and letting Venusaur cook. Bring in Pyroar in the back. And you know what? I think we'll be okay without speed control. I think we'll be okay. Let's get the other guys some reps. Farigiraf's been coming to almost every battle, and while this is a Scrafty based team, we want to see if this team can, this team should be able to function without Scrafty. So, dang. So, I was right to bring. Okay. I don't hate this. Yeah, I don't hate this per se. I'm not a fan of this, but I don't hate it either. Let's get some damage into King Gambit. Okay, they protect the King Gambit. That's not ideal. And he went for EQ. Okay. Jesus. Okay, Weather Ball, the Gambit, and I'll protect Venu. So we're gonna probably take a hit. I want to call out the Sucker Punch. Yep. If we could get the Garchomp to 80-ish%. Okay, Rock Slide. Yeah, we should be good. We just gotta avoid being flinched, and I probably just cursed myself with that. All right, let's see. 80%. And we got flinched. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. So they're gonna protect. Yep. This is pretty telegraphed. So the good news is, okay, getting some damage into them. Okay. They're going to EQ. Oh, they Dragon Clawed. Okay, I can roll with that. 13%. Okay, so they're not choice locked. Pyroar should be faster. A Weather Ball to King Gambit. And I'm a Heat Wave. We're about to learn. I am going to put all my eggs into the Pyroar basket that you are faster. You are a Mega Lion. You gotta be faster than a Land Shark. I know the Land Shark can like fly like Mach speeds, but that's irrelevant. You gotta be faster than the Land Shark. Or they protect. Alright, we take that. Okay. So they're at 12%. Dang, they got like they got 2 more attacks that could get out theoretically. Okay, there goes the Greninja. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. I am not a fan of this. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot we got the Heat Rock. Okay. They might try to map block me, right? Yeah, they might go for a map block. I don't even know if that's in the. I think that's in the game. I'm just gonna Weather Ball, and I'm going to protect. So they protected themselves, and now they're a normal type. So okay. Wait for Earthquake. Dang, I am sorry, Torkoal. Okay, let's see. I think my play is the Heat Wave. Yeah, Heat Wave covers for Whimsicott. It does good damage to Sylveon, and if they bring in Ditto, it will transform into my Mammothswine and get hit. Mega Greninja. Oh, they get Purrian again. Okay. My first time seeing someone use Mega Greninja on the ladder. They protect Garchomp. Okay, that was kind of telegraphed. Now, the $1 million question is, like, what are they gonna do with Mega Greninja? We get the burn. Okay, that's huge in case they're a physical or mixed attacker. And they missed Hydro Pump. Oh, crap. They faked me out with that. Jesus Christ. They did a lot. And we, of course, missed our high horsepower. Yep. Yep, that's fair. Ice Shard. So we were faster. With the way this game's been going for me, I don't wanna risk it. I don't wanna risk it. The way this game's been going. Do they just love to protect every other turn? Like, this is getting played out, bro. Thank you for the Garchomp. In fact, thank you that you protected, because now I don't have to waste my stat drops. And you're taking some more chip from the burn. Mamoswine still at full HP. I think I'm in a prime position to win. Let me see how many turns of... One more turn of Harsh Sunlight. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Let me cover my bases. I'm gonna high horsepower you. I'm gonna protect Pyroar. I don't know if they want to like quick attack my Pyroar. Oh, they just went for the Hydro Pump. Okay. Oh, that might have costed me. Yeah, that might have costed me if they went for Hyper Voice. Yeah, I lost. I lost. I'm trying to think, like, can I even really be mad? Like, I could have just went for a Heat Wave and risked it, and then gone for a high horsepower into the Sylveon. Let's just get dot damage. I think the flinch into Torkoal was annoying. I think the high horsepower miss was annoying. 20%. GG's. Okay, that was 1 and 2. over 30 minutes. Okay, that happened. I could have played that better. The opponent was going for protect every other turn. We seen it happen. I should have just played off of that knowledge instead of just thinking that they're gonna have a little bit more autonomy and not click double protect for the third to last turn. I definitely could have played that better. I do think so. That said, like, there's some things in that battle I couldn't control. I couldn't control the miss with high horsepower. That would have been huge. Torkoal not flinching. That would have contributed to our overall success. But it is what it is. Not the end of the world that we lost. I do want to thank everybody for watching this, though. Like I said, question of the day. I appreciate you answering it, because this will help guide me on some things on what I might decide. But, like, what type of modes do you like to play, or do you like to watch the play? So, I'm going to get out of here. I got a baseball game to attend to in about an hour or so. So, I'm about to get out of here. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Be safe out there, y'all. And peace.